So yesterday, Alex Kantrowitz from BuzzFeed reported that Google has been feeding some interesting text to an AI engine to make it smarter. Alex is here to tell us about this project. Welcome, Alex.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on. So what kind of text is Google using?
It's used all sort of text, but now it's moved on to a project where it's fed over 2,800 romance novels to its AI engine in an attempt to make it become more conversational and, have a better tone and, that image. I've been looking at that image for the last few days.
Well, you did put it at the top of the article.
It is completely my fault. But, if you think about the books I had to choose from, that's pretty G-rated.
Oh, what kind of romance novels are they using? I mean, is it period pieces and finely dressed dames, or is it 50 Shades of Grey?
It's really bad ones. They actually decided that they wanted to take them all from publicly available sources. So you're not getting the creme de la creme of romance novels. You're getting some really nasty ones. And seems to have worked okay.
When you say nasty, do you mean like not appropriate, or do you mean like just poorly written?
Well, that's the big debate. It's like, are the worst written romance novels the sauciest ones, or is a bad romance novel actually good? I really struggled with this question when writing the story. So,
but wait, maybe another way to ask: are these romance novels written for men or for women?
Either way you slice it, I wouldn't read it from the pulpit, man.
Yeah, that's an interesting question. So what you say is that they're simple. Like, these stories are simple. It's, boy meets girl, boy meets other girl, girl meets girl, boy, but, and tragedy, right? Like, is that why they're using them?
Yeah, Google tells me that they were using them because they're all so similar, and they say the same thing in different words. So the plot is heartbreak, it's love triangles, and it's addressing the same topic. Think about it. How many different variations of romance can you have if you're looking at 2,800 books? It probably falls into like 3 or 4 categories. So as they see the same sentences try to reach the same conclusions, it's a way to teach the AI, hey, there's different ways to say the same thing.
But when you're feeding AI that learns from everything that it reads and builds its knowledge around it, nothing but raunchy literature, aren't we just like teaching AI to be, I don't know, raunchy?
Are we just giving an AI a bunch of pickup lines?
Yes.
Is that what
I understand the premise, but I don't know. Does it expand beyond this type of stuff into other literature, and so they'll kind of combine the learning that happens with this stuff with other things and go from there?
Right, that's a great question. So it's a technique. So basically what they've developed using the romance novels is they've given the AI one sentence, they've given the AI another sentence, and then they've told the AI, why don't you write the sentences in between? And so by feeding it the romance novels, it has a text base to draw from, and can help make that connection from the first sentence to the last sentence. And yes, they can use this same technique when they're trying to read, to use any other form of text. It's a technique that they've developed. It's more than just, giving the AI all these books and saying, have at it.
Mm-hmm. So what you're saying is it's not necessarily the content. So the romance novel industry is huge, and like what you said, a lot of this is freely available. There's a lot of consumption, a lot of production in this area. So it's got to be probably more simple than other text. If we fed it all of Shakespeare, that wouldn't work as well.
Exactly. These are books that will repeat the same concepts over and over. And one thing that's interesting to note is it's not that they just teach like a central AI engine these romance novels, then all of a sudden, all across Google, every type of product is trying to hook up with you.
It's not Tay. This is no Tay.
Not Tay. Yeah. Tay was like the very worst version of what this could be.
Got it.
And Google, without even me bringing it up in the interview, mentioned Tay. So they're very, very careful about creating another version of this. And what they'll do is they'll take the best stuff that they've learned and they'll put it in production in products like the Google app and Smart Replies. And they'll probably, I would imagine, put a much more toned down version than what we can find in some of the books.
The Smart Replies, yeah, like you can totally see where that could go wrong. But because you say that 10% of replies in Google's inbox app on mobile are Smart Replies. That was fascinating to me that it was so many, such a large
percentage. Yeah, it's pretty amazing to think that the AI is writing so many of the responses that people are using. 10% is not an insignificant number.
No, it isn't.
1 out of every 10 messages sent from that app is written by AI. Pretty good.
I use it pretty regularly.
Yeah, I mean, I use it more often now than I did at first. Like at first, I didn't want to like resort to a 2 or 3 line reply, but now I realize like, actually, it saves a lot of time. Yeah. All I really need to say is yes, thank you.
Right.
And I mean, if 10% of the users are actually using it, they're not using it just to use it. By and large, they're probably using it because it's actually very good at saying the thing that they would have said anyways. That's pretty impressive.
Alex, this is obviously big for natural language processing and for contextual processing. So if Google can get that going, fantastic. But it's also, this is a little bit of the dream of sci-fi, to create a nascent artificial intelligence and then just feed it as much knowledge, as much human content as we can give to it, and then it grows and grows and becomes intelligent. Obviously, we're not there yet because we're just trying to make it learn smart replies. But where would you put this on the spectrum of nascent, singular, artificial intelligence?
It's still pretty nascent. I think it's going to be a long time until we see some sort of Skynet version appear. But on the other hand, I did ask them whether or not someone can eventually fall in love with this type of AI, and they weren't even, Google wasn't even hesitant at all answering the question yes. So it's a matter, I think it's more of a matter of time before that happens as opposed to whether it will or whether it won't.
Well, yeah, I mean, that brings up Tay again, too, because, the Xiao Ice, Microsoft's Xiao Ice, everyone was telling it, that they loved it. Whereas with, Tay, they were teaching her to be racist. But then I think I might have read this, you might have wrote this, that the part of that is that was in China where a lot of language is really locked down. So there's not a lot that you can say. I mean, you can't be as horrible as you can in the United States because we have free speech.
We also have some very interesting elements here that are determined to destroy any sort of cool technology with any bit of some leeway in its programming. So
just for the lulz.
Our innovation here in the U.S.
Well, Alex, thank you so much. Alex Kantrowitz is at BuzzFeed News. You can follow him at BuzzFeed.com or at Kantrowitz on Twitter. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.